Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we want to talk about some more AMD's fluid motion frames. They actually just made it so that people on 6000 series GPUs can download the preview driver and start trying these right now. So let me tell you what this does. Basically, it'll improve like the overall perception of frame rate. It'll bring more frame rate. It is going to induce some more. It is going to induce a little bit of instability in terms of like more latency, maybe a little bit of instability when you pan the camera left and right. That's going to mainly depend on what your base frame rate is when you first start it. 6000 series GPUs are not going to have access to anti-lag plus, so you're not going to really benefit too much from the extra added latency reduction from that. But what does happen is if you say you run it, I've found for me, even on a 7900 XT, that the absolute sweet spot for this technology is going to be maybe 1080p, 1440p. You can try it at 4K, but you're going to have to lower your settings to have a higher base frame rate before you even start playing around with this for it to even make a big enough difference. Now, with me, with the 7900 XT running games like Ghost Recon, some of them older, open world games that, like Assassin's Creed, Odyssey, The Witcher 3, any of these games here, running them on like the DX11 or whatever, and then, getting, 1440p, getting my frame rate over a certain amount, they do run incredibly well. You're going to see judder when you pan the camera, but if you do it really fast, you won't see it. If you pan the camera really fast, like if you just turn, to look in a different direction, like when you're playing a game, running around, looking around, you're not going to notice it that much. But if you're sitting there panning the camera, at like a medium speed, that's when you're going to see it the most. But like I was saying, like games like Ghost Recon and Assassin's Creed, like running those games at 6K, still getting a pretty high frame rate, and then being able to boost those. Some games are definitely a little bit easier to run, so you might be able to hit 4K on some of those DX11 games, like those Generation 8 games. Most of the stuff for Generation 9, though, definitely going to be a little bit harder, especially when you start to get down the stack in the 6000 series, toward like the 6700 or whatever. But if you're running like 6950 XT, 6800 XT, you're gonna be able to benefit from this technology, at least in terms of frame rate. So is what I want you to do though when you do download this. I want you to look at it from a point of view like, okay, cool, I've got access to this technology. Let's see how it works. And and these are only questions that you can ask yourself. Jumping on there and listen to me or anybody else. This is something that's either going to work for you or it's not going to work for you. And for me, in certain types of games, and I do recommend controller. Get any controller.